And we're back from a very long hiatus. I think I was doing some math. I think it's more like almost 6 weeks. It's been a minute. But we are back. And about 2 minutes ago, everyone was in camera frame. And then we went and called live, and now everyone's out of camera frame. So, welcome to another episode of Salisbury Anarchy. We are back and ready to roll. We're going to do some quick intros, and then we'll dive right into the meat of the game. Pick up kind of ish where we left off. Start with Thomas.
Hello, my name is Thomas, and I'll be playing Sir Edrich of House Winterbourne Stoke, current Marshal of Salisbury. And also, thank you, Le Sombruja, for the 100 bits.
Yeah, good call. I missed that.
I missed it too. What a delightful. What are bits?
They can be used for things we barely use here, but are very welcome. Yeah.
Delightful.
They are Twitch currency.
Yes, Vivid Bees has also mentioned that Mark and Liam have done a Freaky Friday flip.
In real life too.
Oh,
yep.
Someone probably has their name changed on Discord again.
I think it was me. Hold on.
We're a professional stream. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Is it? No, you're Sir Florence Mark.
I think it's the other way around.
Mark Sir Florence?
Yep.
Oh. I've been doing it wrong then. We're right? I've been doing it wrong. I have been doing it wrong. Maybe it's me, actually.
It didn't change my order.
Yeah, it might be me, actually, because I think I swapped them. Hang on one sec.
It won't change it with the
course
camera.
I know.
I'll fix it.
Remember, if you're watching us live on stream, you can always check us out at our YouTube channel at the Ticking Time Bomb. Ooh, it changed!
It changed. It was me. I was the problem. Last week when we had this problem with AP, I was like, nope, not me. I'm good. I fixed my thing already. I'll keep the audience entertained. I'll show off my shirt if they can see it. Look at this wonderful Christmas present I got. I'm very proud of it. It makes me very happy.
All right, I think cameras are fixed. Let's go ahead and roll to Mark.
Hello! I am Mark, aka the Cat's Meow, and I am here, hopefully, to play Sir Florence, or perhaps even his sneakier younger brother, Sir Rhodri. And I'm excited to be back, since it's been 100 years or whatever the fuck. And yeah, I'm excited.
What year is it? All right.
What year?
Liam, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I am Liam. I'll be playing Sir Virgil of Durnford, and I finally got what I deserve, which is unconsciousness.
I'm just fixing Mark as well because he is not currently set to Sir Florence. So tidy that one up. There we go. That should be all more or less good. Characters will go with this. As Sir Florence. Or Sir Horrence is many people call him.
Sir Florence.
Okay. If it is your first time chiming in, we are a Pendragon currently 5.2 stream with our own smattering of rules from other versions of the game and our own house rules and stuff on forums and such. Smattered in, but I imagine that's just your standard gaming table, to be honest. We play weekly. We are set in Salisbury, which is a backwater county of Britain in the time between King Uther and the once and future king. Period of time which was literally one line in Sir Thomas Mallory, referencing the time of Anarchy, period between the two. And we can cut in from there. But we're not going to do the normal. We're not going to be paying too much attention to Salisbury at the very beginning of this game. Instead, we're going to take a look at our neighbors over in Cornwall. Shit is going down. We are going to be following Sir Florence. You can tell how long it's been, apparently. Lawrence's future brother, I think. We'll be following Sir Florence as they begin to siege the county of Jagant, or Jagent, as we called it previously. And the Kingdom of Cornwall invades what is left, the only county remaining of the previous Duchy of Duke Orlo, the Duchy of Cornwall. So we're going to start with Mark, just to see how well this initial phase went for you. Just give me a sec here. Because unfortunately I reset between things. Oh, good. It's on the right page. It makes it easier. Okay. Mark, I need you to test 4 things for me as Florence.
All right.
Sorry, correction. I need you to test 3 things for now. Battle, the weapon of your choice, and horsemanship.
Okay. And if I do choose to use a bastion, I can only use it on one of them, correct?
Yep, and it's gone for the rest of things. So I will
Rest of the battle.
I'll warn you that other things are going to be happening. We're going to be zooming in from here on actual in-character stuff.
Alright. The we'll just do a general one. I won't use passengers. Passages.
I refuse
I'll get it
to
eventually.
use
Passions.
Passion.
I refuse to use passages. Alright. So, starting off with battle. Success. Then using my lance specialty. That's a crit. And for horsemanship, that's a success.
Okay, that is a good start.
You've got a base of 25 lance, yeah?
Yes.
Very cool. Glory recorded.
Yeah, that was for glory purposes. You were asking that question, right? Okay, so, sorry, I'm all over the place a little bit, guys. I apologize. The initial Battle of Jagant that takes place, things go particularly well for you. Mark, roll a d3.
Alright. Three.
Okay. Good to know, good to know. Okay, so now your glory is... You get 60 glory for the Battle of Jagant.
Mm-hmm.
Which is essentially you leading your knights into the areas that surround Ilchester, which is your final target, city of Ilchester. It's not just you, of course. There are many officers. You're just but one.
Yep.
All right. And then from here, we're going to get you to test 4 things. I'm just going to launch something before we do. Give me a sec. throw in some ambiance here of the medieval siege taking place. You're gonna roll 4 things in turn. You're going to choose weapon of your choice, battle, horsemanship, and siege.
Okay. So weapon, horsemanship, battle, siege. Start off with weapon of choice, spear. It's another crit.
There you go, bud.
Then it's battle. Success. Horsemanship. Success. And siege. I am going to invoke my passion.
He's your passenger.
My passenger.
Your mic is way off, by the way.
Is it?
Does anyone else hear the static every time he talks?
I am hearing static. Yeah.
Is there static?
When you said that,
It's not super bad. Yeah, it's not super bad, but it's noticeable.
Your mic does make a
Okay.
lot of noise whenever you move it. You know, it makes this like tinny noise when you move it.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I will continue for now, and then afterwards I'll try and figure out
You
what
sound
the problem
good.
is.
It might be. Can you say something really loud? Let's just see if it's like when you maxing out your mic.
Just when I'm talking loud like this?
Might be that, yeah.
Little tiny
Okay.
bit. You know.
Yeah.
I'll keep talking normally.
It sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay. Alright, alright, all that. So I'm going to roll a passion of... Could I roll loyalty to Lord? Because I am fighting on behalf of King Idris, who is technically my lord.
There's gonna be something. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
However, do you want to have a passion for homage Idris?
I think it would make sense.
It means
'Cause it would also...
it means something about Florence, though.
Yeah. You know, I think not at this point.
Okay.
I think that will ultimately depend on Idris's actions after this point.
Okay.
Alright, that fits. In which case, I will roll honor. Success.
Let me see if I got you jacked up, because someone's saying you're louder in the thing. You're at 100. No. What's Liam at? 100. I got Liam
Yo.
at 110.
Sup?
I got Thomas down to 80, so who knows?
Maybe I am loud.
I take large steps.
I'm surprised I'm that loud on the computer. 'Cause I think I'm the
I turned
loudest
you
of
down
the
a
three of
bit.
us.
Yeah.
I have Bob at I have Bob at 199.
Yeah. Unfortunately. I don't know why. I got like a nice mic too, but it has to be like I have to be like making out with it for it to make sounds apparently.
Alright. Now it is time. Siege.
Siege.
Adding 5. Cross my fingers and hope this will work. No, unfortunately not.
Okay. Give me a D6 roll.
Oh.
Okay. You take 4 wounds after armor.
Okay.
And then give me I need 12d6.
12d6. Sounds like a quick way to get myself killed.
Nope. This is not damage for you, don't worry.
$43.
Not bad. You only okay. So out of the 12 knights who call the Baron of the Axe their lord, so not knights that would follow you to Salisbury, but knights that owe you fealty through here. One of them dies in the siege, and two of them are wounded. 3 of them, correction, are wounded bad enough to. Yeah, so you lose some of your knights, but it's not as bloody as it could have been of an affair. And you walk by relatively scot-free. You know, you've been in sieges before. You know just how brutal they can truly be if the army's hiding behind the walls, which they are. Okay. But nevertheless, you managed to fight your way through the outer walls. Mark, pick a number 1 to 12.
9.
One of the knights it's an unnamed knight that we haven't called out before. I was gonna see if that was the one knight we called on screen before.
Oh yeah.
Name. But he's still alive and fighting. So you managed to break the walls, or break through a portion of the walls, either be it ladder or by way of well, there probably
brute
wouldn't
force.
be a proper brute force. It'd probably be through ladders and such. You end up on the other side. You end up inside of Ilchester. This is where things are gonna get a little more interesting. Thomas and Liam,
That's
Yarp.
me.
I need both of you to go down to the NPCs section. Thomas, you're gonna find an NPC by the name of. Well, I'll just show you guys. Thomas, you're gonna find Sir Urban sheet in there. You should. Let me know if you do.
Count Urban of Devon. I have him. Looks like he's got his passions and his weapons set up, but no skills and only some virtues.
Should have
Where
some
we were
skills.
going, we
Weapon
don't need
skills.
Yes.
Where we're going, we don't need skills.
And Liam, you should see Artud, your uncle.
I have Arthur of Devon.
Okay. I want you guys to roll the same 4 skills that Mark rolled: battle, horsemanship, battle, horsemanship, a weapon of your choice, and siege.
Understood. Doesn't look like this guy has siege. Shall I make it 0?
No, that was should have siege. Are you sure it's not a custom skill right below it? Should be 11.
Yep, not there.
Okay.
I have a seed 3.
At 11. Yeah,
Roger
that's
that.
correct for you, Liam.
All right. Battle first. Success. Horsemanship. Success. Gonna do lance as well. Oh, you put siege under combat skills.
That's where it
Yeah,
belongs.
That's where it is. It's a combat skill? I didn't know.
I'm
I put
a
it in the wrong
god.
place.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
Thomas.
that's really good. No,
I got
don't
them
worry
all.
about it.
No fails.
Okay. I've got 1 left. 3 out of 4 successes. Failure. 3 out of 4 successes. Failure on
4.
siege.
Okay. So the way that's gonna work is crits go to the tiebreaker. Let's do this. You guys should have hit points and stuff. Anything you failed, if you failed 1, roll a d6 for it, and that's how much damage you took on the way in.
Looks like 4 damage after soak to Count Urban.
Okay. So Florence would be the tiebreaker with Urban. Strangely enough, Artud, failing nothing, actually is in the forefront. So Liam, you get first choice of your enemy. You need to line up against one of these enemies. You're fighting either the Cornish mercenaries, the Ilchester Knights, or the Jagan Pictish forces.
Ooh, that's an excellent question. Do I know which ones are the scariest of those to fight?
Yeah, so I'll say so the Ilchester Knights are the sort of the most sort of stereotypical Cymric Cornish knights, you know. They're
Right.
they be the sort of the better armored. The Pictish forces, they're just a little more scary in the way they fight, right? But they are
Right.
knights, they're modernized, so they're not running around with like a as painted
Clubs.
tribesmen, yeah, with clubs and spears. They're running around with armaments.
Hey, that
and
one
they-
looks like Mel Gibson.
And the mercenaries, you can. Do you have heraldry on your sheet?
I do not. No.
Okay, roll d20 versus d20. So roll 2 d20. First is your roll, the second one is your skill.
Two out of 19.
Okay, and then just add heraldry of 19 to your sheet when you can.
I have so much power. I've never had this high heraldry ever. Right on.
They're led by Sir Cador.
Oh.
A former friend of yours, a former very skilled knight, I guess, of Duke Orlo. And rumor has it, relative to Lady Igraine as well.
Interesting. Let's do that one then. I think I'm gonna fight the mercenaries.
Okay. All right. That then puts Florence in position to decide, because both of you tied, but Florence got a crit, so on one. So that's like a tiebreaker. Speaking of tiebreakers, I'm gonna see who won the Lions game real quick. Oh no!
I think
Sefrin won. All right. Anyways.
I will take on the Ilchester Knights.
Okay. That leaves Urban with the Gigantic Cakes.
Something he can take care of.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Thomas, if you get Sir Urban killed, you will save me a lot of trouble. Just saying.
I'll see what I can do. No promises.
Okay. Give me 1 sec here. Mark and Thomas, you two contest heraldry. For Urban, same thing. Thomas, a d20 versus a d20, and the minimum, like if you get like a 1, the minimum will be the knightly starting point.
That's a fumble.
8 versus
Oh.
3.
You don't know. You don't really care. You're not paying attention, Florence, to who this might be.
Mhm.
All I'm surrounded with is fear and dead men.
So does that mean I get 8 for heraldry?
I think you get 3. So the second.
3, got you.
3, which is, you still would have failed. I think he probably has a 5, but
Yeah.
when he write 5 on his sheet,
I will.
he's a tactician.
All
He's
right.
got to know a little bit about it, but maybe he relies on intel.
He's got other people for this.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! He got the
Yay.
starter set!
So I'm just gonna. We're gonna be doing this a little
Alright.
differently.
All right.
Modification
Alright.
of 6th edition, just because 2 of these characters aren't your NPCs, but I want to have enough depth to, you know, if something happens to Florence, where it feels like it wasn't just like hand waved that he died, you know, like gotta. Okay.
Where does he get all these wonderful toys?
So failure, but we know that Cador is.
In the meantime, please subscribe to the channel. That way we can do more stuff like this.
Yeah.
Indeed,
Please. Please.
Okay, so we'll start with Artud. The intensity of this battle is going to be a 12, so I'm going to test something. Oh, fumble. Interesting.
Ooh.
That means something very interesting. That means effectively the opponent you line up against is not necessarily who you have to face, and this goes for all three of you this time.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose to make a battle roll and choose another opponent, but even if you don't pass your battle test, you still can choose an alternate knight, like if you really don't like who you're facing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna lay out these things real quick. I gotta quickly just one macro's missing. Ilchester Knights, Cornish Mercenaries. There we go.
Hypothetically, do we want to coordinate on one unit so we can crush them into paste the first time?
I don't
Fortunately, I think
that-
we're fighting different types.
Yeah.
Whatever
yes.
the boss says.
I think also we're technically like leading our own units.
Yeah, you're like
Yes, that's true.
you're a battlefield commander. You're somewhere in the middle of things. By the way, when you got this far, Mark, Idris and Prince Mark declared that the basically the armies of Devon should lead the way.
Mm-hmm.
You get the impression that this is kind of a prove your allegiance kind of moment. Go and defeat your former brothers. So basically, the only people fighting and dying right now in this first wave are the people of Devon, and the people of Tintagel. So
Yeah. Quite literally the formal people of the Duke of Cornwall.
yep, 100%. Okay, so with that in mind, here is our Tud's opponent. Oh, some of those are broken. I'm gonna redo that, guys. Give me a sec. That might
That's
mean
all
that
right.
more than one is broken too. I should have tested them. That worked. There we go.
Yep.
Everything's good. Okay, and then I'm gonna do. I'm gonna check the other two.
Icon.
Yep. Just gonna fix the Ilchester one, and gonna fix the gigant. Okay. There we go. So that's it says Mirror Knight too, doesn't it? God damn it. Hold on.
I think you're doing great, Bob.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our first session in a month. We're gonna have to stop every couple of seconds to figure stuff out, but that's all right. Hey, we'll keep it entertaining for you. There
how
will
we
be
always
blood, I
roll.
swear.
Yeah.
Yeah, there will be blood.
Just fixing the through right now. Okay, so let's try this one more time. We're gonna start from scratch. Make sure they all say the right thing. Okay, Cornish Mercenary. There we go. Ilchester Knight fighting Florence. And Gigant picked. Lined up against Urban. So now you can choose.
Why am I fighting the unusually competent worst?
That's how it goes sometimes. All of you can take a look at the person you're lined up against. Do you like the odds? Do you like how it's going? If the answer is yes, don't do anything. If you want a moment of glory, if you want to try to reach the enemy commander and fight in a duel, or you just want a better opponent, then you're rolling battle at this point.
I think Urban would definitely like to roll battle. He's more of a strategist than he is a fighter. I think he'd like a safer opponent.
Yep. That lines
Yes,
up.
I think that's what I'm gonna go for.
Okay, in that case, because I fumbled, it's a battle +5.
Out of curiosity, Bob, would going straight for the enemy commander at this point be paramount to suicide, or?
Nope. Not with a fumbled battle. Not with a fumbled roll on the initial roll. There it was really bad
Okay.
for them. So
Then I'm
yeah.
going straight for the commander.
And I will also I'll fight the target that was assigned to me there. I think that's a good matchup.
Stay with your target that you're
Yeah.
interested in.
So, battle +5, right?
Yep.
3.
Okay, you do not reach the battlefield commander mark, but you will be swapped out for another opponent.
Alright.
Would it be more advantageous for Urban to... would it be safer, rather, with that crit to go for the commander than it would to get stuck in the thick of things? He's got good Valorous, but he's also got a lot of Prudence. That's his famous thing.
Right. I think that depends. I think it depends. Do you want to test? You want to test Prudence?
I would like to. I think I'd test Prudent versus Valorous if I could.
Okay.
Success on Prudent. And lower success on Valorous.
Okay, well that tells us something, because you still get one more choice on something. So now you get to select your posture. You can select Valorous, which means you fight the encounter as normal for 2 combat rounds, and you check Valorous. You can fight Recklessly. So when you fight Reckless, you fight it for 3 combat rounds, you check Reckless, and immediately add plus 1d3 to your morale. So like however it comes out, it turns in your favor. Prudent is another option. So fight the encounter as normal for 1 combat round. Check Prudent and immediately reduce your counter's morale, so it doesn't make your morale great. Cowardly is you don't engage. I'm assuming no one's doing that. So those are the 4 main postures. So
I think engaging normally is probably the best way forward. As a tactician, he knows the advantage of morale, and he's not going to be seen lacking in this, both for political reasons and for he has to lead his men.
yeah. There actually isn't a normal in this case. It's Valorous would be the closest to normal to combat rounds.
Valorous then.
Yeah. So I hear Valorous from Urban. What about Florence?
I think Florence is going to do Reckless.
Reckless?
He's going to show that he's there alongside his own forces.
Okay.
He's willing to give his all as they would.
As for Arthur, I don't think he's really into this at all. The fact that he's happened to fight people that were once his home people, you know what I mean? So I think he's just gonna fight regular Valorous. Do the bare minimum while still contributing.
Understood. All right, and we're gonna should probably show people the map.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Let's get
So
that Sunday night
Start with
combat.
Urban versus Sir Robert of Jagant, his opponent.
I know this guy.
You do.
Yeah.
He is the current leader of the Pictish Knights. I don't know if that's ever come out on screen that he's Pictish, but he is.
I believe it did.
Is he really?
He fought along with us in the Battle of Devon.
Yeah,
Oh.
and Dalen had a moment of racism, I think.
I don't remember that, but that does. Yeah, that was what I was gonna be. That's what I was gonna wonder about, because Dalen was bros with him, and Dalen hates Picts, just a little bit though.
He's one of the good ones.
He's
He's not your standard even standard Jagant Pict. He's very big and like doesn't look like they're kind of small and wiry. He's not that way, obviously, given the art here. So he kind of comes off more Gimrick in nature. Okay, so Urban, you were fighting valorously, is that correct?
Oh,
Thomas?
yes, that's correct. Fighting
Yeah.
Valerie.
It's a new name.
Valorous.
I get it.
Fighting Valerie.
Yeah,
What'd
my,
she do
my
to you?
apologies.
Yeah.
Valerie knows what she did. Chivalry doesn't involve not fighting women, it involves not respecting them. I respect her very much. No, fighting valorously. My apologies. It is a new name, you're right, Liam.
Okay. In that case, you may make your attack on your opponent.
I would like to activate a passion, if I may. Not Loyalty Lord, because that absolutely does not apply, but rather Love of Family in this case. Because it's by doing this that he can ensure that he and his family remain the stewards of Devon, at least within the eyes of the new king of Cornwall. Okay, that is a success. And he's going to be striking with his lance, charging on his horse.
Fuck him up.
Ooh, he failed.
19 out of 20 success.
Robert failed his thing. Okay.
I can't do a Cornish accent. It always ends up sounding like Hagrid, so I'm not going to bother for Urban.
Okay, you're going to get the upper hand on that attack, so you may deal standard damage.
Standard damage or horse damage?
You are not charging. You're not given an opportunity to charge.
That's right. 10 damage. 10 whole damage.
All right. You know what? We're going to go through and stay with the person we're focused in on, because I think it'll be less confusing to people. So you have one more round. You have to face him, Thomas, before
All right. I think the first blow, putting his all into it, it wasn't that effective. His heart's not really in it. He's not going to activate a passion for the second round. But he is going to continue to strike, wielding his lance and trying to finish the fight as quickly as possible. Failure.
Ooh. Let's see if Robert gets a big hit here. It's a hit.
Okay.
Maybe not big.
Oh, that could have been way worse.
Yeah. So there's going to be an added D6 on this. Because he is using... Oh, no. Shouldn't say sword then. We'll leave it at that. He's using a sword. I'd always pictured him as more of a Warhammer-y guy, but, you know, he's getting old. He's probably... Big weapons are hard to wield when you're 48 or whatever he is now, 46.
Yeah. And yeah, so close to his retirement, he's really saving his money, so he can't buy as many figurines as he used to.
Exactly. So, all right. So 2 exchanges, neither go either way.
I do take 6 damage, though, I believe.
You failed. That's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you don't get shield bonus.
Okay, you don't get shield bonus. Roll me. Let's see here. Yeah, roll me a D6. It's actually a D3 if you want to roll a D3 instead.
Sure thing. 2.
Your morale drops by 2. You passed 3 out of 4 on the way in, right? 3 out of 4 is
That's correct.
All right, so your current morale, just to keep track of it from here forward, is 14. Right? You need a minimum
that.
to participate, or else you'll have to kind of fold back. Right? We'll move up to Florence against your opponent. Your opponent is the Ilchester Knight. Kenrick. Sir Kenrick is his name.
All right, then. I'm going to call upon my love of family.
I'm shocked.
I do not want to die. That's a failure, though.
Ooh, they got theirs. Okay. You're fighting recklessly, right, against this
Yeah.
thing? Right? Was your love of family, is that a minus to you? Nope. Good. Okay.
No, it's not high enough to be a minus, I don't think.
Okay. So when you're ready, go ahead and give me your weapon skill.
Alright, let's go. Oh my god.
What do you get? Is it
6.
Low.
20.
Rolled a natural 1.
1.
Yes.
Could not have rolled any worse.
You still get your shield.
bad? Yeah, you still get your shield. This guy's going to do 5d6.
It doesn't go through my armor.
Okay. Tink. Round 2, good sir. And by the way, these are different combat rounds, so his passion no longer counts.
Alright. In that case, I'm just gonna go straight spear. That's better.
You fumbled.
Ooh.
Alright.
Um,
Rolling damage.
roll your damage, and then we'll apply the fumble after.
26.
I know what the fumble's gonna be. He's gonna eat shit.
Fall off your horse.
Yeah. 100%. So 26 minus. Or wait, you fumbled. So 26 minus just the base 10 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
18. Yeah, he's down and out. Do you want to finish him off? Or do you want to hold him ransom? What do you want to do?
Kill him! Kill him! Oh, sorry.
Let me make a roll to find
What do you
out.
want? Yeah.
Merciful versus cruel. Yeah, no. Yeah, he leaves him. He's not gonna finish him off.
Okay.
Fucked up.
Just moves on to the next
Do you
target.
do you want to assign your squire to hold him hostage? Like you taking him hostage, or?
Yeah, I think
It's a great
he'd tell
way to
his
make
squire
cash.
to take him hostage, but I doubt Florence actually has any plans to ransom him. Because he's feeling merciful. I think he just wants him to get him off the battlefield so he doesn't die.
Okay. Understood. So your squire chooses to do so, and then that will be the end of yours. Give me a D3 mark.
1.
Okay, so 16 minus 1 for morale this round, but plus 3 because you completely vanquished your opponent. So in that case, you're up to an 18 morale. So things are looking good for you.
Recorded and logged.
That brings us to Artud versus Kador. Or wait,
Let's
no,
fuck
you
him
weren't.
up.
You weren't fighting Kador.
My friend.
You chose not to fight Kador, right? You chose to go
Yeah, chose to
after
fight a regular dude.
the regular dude.
Oh, that's right. I chose to fight whoever was facing me.
Fred
Yeah.
Drust. Yeah. DRWST. Sir Drist. Who you're fighting. All right.
Drist. Drum.
No, it's Drizzt Doerden.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack when you're ready, good sir. Oh, actually, hold on.
All right,
Liam, how
here we
are you
go.
fighting before you do?
Oh, oh.
What posture were you fighting with?
Oh, that's right. Okay, so it's in 6e. It's not necessarily that I'm fighting two opponents, right? Remind me what the bonuses are, since it's kind of new.
So Valorous basically is your standard kind of way, and you fight someone for 2 combat rounds and check Valorous. Reckless is you're fighting for 3 combat rounds, so you have more risk of getting hurt, but you add
Right.
plus 1d3 to your morale of your team.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
and
like that.
Prudent is you immediately reduce your conroy's morale minus 1d3, but you only fight for 1 combat round. And you
But I only fight for 1 round. Okay.
ooh, and in Prudent you must choose a defend action, so that's interesting. So
Oh.
I've never
Interesting.
chosen a defend action in my goddamn life, and I'm not
No,
beginning
I'm
now.
not starting now.
Shit. Well, my Valorous is higher than my Prudent, and I don't have Reckless on here, so I assume it's not. It's just 10-10. So, I will say, let's do Valorous. 17 Valorous. Let's fight normal. I'm gonna
Okay.
commit to this, but I'm not gonna like it.
Right. Understood.
Okay, 2 rounds. I'm gonna kill this man with my 15 sword.
Hey,
That's
Well,
not bad.
You got the upper hand, but
That's
you
not good.
yeah, but not terrible. You might not even break through.
I get
so.
I get my shield at least.
Yeah, he doesn't break through your
16.
weapon.
Optimal outcome, honestly, for our dude. I think.
Let me see what he used.
All right,
That-
cool. And then
That was the spear he might have.
are we
broke it.
jumping? Oh well. Oh wait, that would be good for me.
What did I fight
And
with?
then
Yeah,
are we
and
do we are we jumping right into round 2 straight ahead, or are we doing everybody?
Yeah, we're doing round 2 straight ahead because everyone else did too.
Cool. Yep.
Nope. He. Okay.
Keeps the spear, and I.
Oh my God.
I can't lose another one. I can't lose another family member. I'm sorry.
oh, you can't, you with the multiple children.
Oh, no.
man. Arthur lost his sister
Ah.
last year. All right, so let's see if I reduce that by 16.
Yep. I think he'll survive. 41 minus 16. What's it say your health is?
My total hit points is 31.
Okay, yeah, you'll survive.
Oh, I would survive. My unconscious is 8. So
You're out like a light.
Uh-oh.
no, I'm still up.
What is-
Because I have 10 left.
Hey!
10 left.
I was about to say, what is it with your family and being knocked out in battle?
Dude, it's
31
me. I'm cursed. I'm not allowed to have fun in this game.
31 minus 25 is 6, not 10.
Oh, I did 41 minus. Yeah, never mind. You're right. You're right. I'm out.
What is it with your family and being...
I'm fucking cursed, man. I'm not allowed to have fun in this game. I keep
I'm
making
sorry.
combat-heavy characters that get knocked out immediately. Oh, man. Hey, again, though, kind of optimal for our turd. I mean, whatever. Fuck.
Well, it could be more optimal. But I see what you
He's-
mean. At least you
he's-
don't have to fight your countrymen.
He's swelling in apathy right now, man. His king is dead. His fucking, his sister's
sold
dead.
sold his own people out to a foreign king.
Yeah, man, he's not. Our turd's not having a good time, and now he's unconscious and bleeding to death. So, what are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do?
What are you going to do?
Hopefully get medical help.
He will.
Not in this lifetime.
All
All right, have fun, boys. I will provide commentary. I'm gonna.
It shouldn't take too much
I'm
longer,
the
so don't worry.
I'm the jokester now. That's what I'm supposed to do this episode.
That's what you always are. It's great. We love it.
Spacer Kip says the days since Edric's dead son was mentioned 0.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do I make too much of a point to bring up the most painful experience of my life?
Okay. Okay. That brings us to we're 3 rounds
Practice.
deep into the siege of Ilchester. Let me see how many rounds Ilchester was.
We may need, because the morale for Artud's men probably isn't great after losing their commander.
Oh no, they're terrible. They're gonna have to retreat. So Kador's army is gonna probably be crashing into Mark's flank there.
Fantastic.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay, so we are gonna do another round. Let's test and see where the battle's at here. So this time I rolled a battle of 12. So, or like an intensity of 12. So you have to beat the 12. Oh my god. A 12 is the intensity, so it just critted. You guys are locked in
Oh,
place with
no.
whoever your opponent is. Basically, it makes sense. Like, things just went
Okay.
really aside.
Yeah.
Artud's Artud's army moved to retreat. Basically, they have to fold to the flanks, regroup, and then come back in the next round. Florence, your opponent will be Sir Iorwerth. And Urban, your opponent will be Berwyn, Sir Berwyn.
I really don't like those double fours.
Urban versus Berwyn. Let's go.
All right.
What are you fighting, Thomas? This time, Valorous, Reckless.
It's gotta be valorous. We don't have the morale to fight cautiously. And he can't fight cowardly, otherwise he loses all respect of his men.
Quite like that battle system there, the new
Yes.
combat thing. Like, that's pretty good. I like it.
Now, do I roll battle regardless, or would it have no point with a critical intensity?
If you crit, I guess you could technically beat it. Yeah.
I did.
That's true. You're high. Yep. I guess that's what Urban does well, right? So
Yes, it's his thing. So I think
Yeah.
even as the chaos is going all around him, he sees his chance to try his best to continue,
Yeah.
or at least avoid this master swordsman.
Master Swordsman. They got a slightly less Master Swordsman.
What are they feeding these people in Tintagel?
Yeah, right. In Ilchester. Yeah. Okay.
In Ilchester.
Yeah. So Sir Dristan.
Happily takes Sir Dristan. Okay. Rolling honor. Failure on honor. I'm melancholic. Honor goes down by 1. But for this round, we're good.
Yeah, for this round you're good. So go ahead and make your roll, sir.
Success on lands, but fairly low. Yep.
My rolls are going off though. It's not helpful.
No, your rolls are very, very good.
Ooh.
I take 4 damage,
4 damage.
past the shield.
Okay.
I'm still looking hale and hearty, as it were, but would not like to get hit more.
That's fair.
It's preferable, I think.
That's fair.
Second sortie, and do I have a -5 to this one?
Nope, not yet. Not till this exchange is done. Okay.
Perfect. Come on. Is he Catholic? It doesn't matter. He's lost his faith. Failure on lance.
Ooh. I've got the perfect description for this. 17. So you take 7
Yeah.
damage.
Taking 7 damage. He's starting to look fairly bad.
Yeah. You're finding that like in the change as Artud goes down and the chaos on the left flank, you're fighting against this impassioned group of Pictish warriors that just seem to be surrounding your unit, and it's like everyone you keep lining up against seems to be a competent fighter with a better position or having the higher ground. Make a Star Wars reference there. So
Indeed.
there's no way to win when you got the higher ground.
Exactly. Especially not if you're wearing heavy armor and fighting uphill.
Yeah.
It's a bad situation for everyone, and Urban specifically is feeling pretty much the same way as Artud, I suspect. He's really not feeling the current situation fighting his countrymen, and it shows with his will. He gets
This
hit
would have
bad.
never-
He's not unconscious, and he might take a major wound though later. No, wait. No, he wouldn't
Has to
take a
be all
major
at
wound
once.
because he hasn't
Yep.
taken all. Yeah.
Yep.
He wouldn't take a major wound. He is very close to unconsciousness, however.
Okay. All right, we're gonna zoom in on Florence.
Florence is going to be fighting valorously against Iowa.
This would have
Iowa.
just putting it
All
out
of
there.
the entire
Iowa.
state of Iowa.
Entirety of Iowa.
Just putting it out there. This would have never happened under Gorlo. Just being straight.
It's not wrong.
But you shouldn't say it.
All right. What am I gonna do? I think I'm just gonna go at it with no passions.
You've still got one, I think. You still got honor, right?
No, I already used honor.
Oh, that's right. Hospitality?
I don't think I can use hospitality.
You'll try it though. I know you. You gotta argue for it, right? I am passionate with
I
hospitality.
am fighting in someone's home. So
You might as well be
Exactly.
polite about it.
Exactly. You get it. You get it.
Yeah, no. I don't think so.
yeah, no. The only other one I have, I'm saving. The rest of them don't apply.
I would allow you to make a loyalty lord to come home alive, your lord, if you're thinking of Salisbury when you're thinking it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'll give you? I'll give you one thing. Let's see how. Do you still have anything of Gorlo on your sheet?
I have a directed trait,
What
trusting
was it?
Golo.
Trust. Okay.
5.
Trusting. Test trusting with that +5. Okay.
Almost a crit. It's a
Okay.
14.
I want you to roll 3d6 + 6.
All right. $15.
Okay. You look back and you watch. Hold on. Let me just check here.
If Florence dies here, I'm never gonna forgive myself.
Oh, that. I don't like how that worked out. Hold on.
I take 105 damage.
That's not what I'm looking for. You watch as another one of your men drops beside you, and you remember Gorlo's comments about loyalty flowing both ways. Please add loyalty. What's it called? It's on Kador's as well. Vassals. Loyalty vassals. 15.
All right.
So now you're not just fighting. If you choose to do that this round, you're not fighting just for yourself. You're fighting for your men. You're fighting to keep them alive.
I think that's going to be his aim. And you know what? Because of that, I'm going to change from fighting Valorous to Reckless.
Okay.
So I think that makes more sense.
Get in there, man. Let's go. Fuck shit
All right.
up.
Rolling loyalty of vassals.
Yes.
Success.
Okay.
So I get a +5.
Kick their ass.
Okay. Now, staying with your opponent, correct? Or
I don't think I have a choice. I'm not going to succeed that roll otherwise.
yeah, you'd have to crit on battle.
Yeah.
Your opponent was the Ilchester Knight, who was somewhat skilled. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's alright.
I wouldn't want to fight him.
Let's go. Oh, it's a 14.
Still
I, have
good.
I had a +10.
Hey, you
Still
got him.
wins.
Hey.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do on a natural 4.
15 damage.
Okay.
Which I think he'd probably soak. If he had a shield.
Yeah. There's apparently a rainstorm as the battlefield sound cut over to a different video on accident. Okay, so I was like confused by that. So you have your first exchange. It doesn't go well. I'm gonna give you, because this is the first time you've activated this, like since it's like it's existing, thing. thematically, we're gonna give you that loyalty vassals for the rest of these 3 rounds.
All right, these exchanges. That works. Next exchange.
Fuck him up.
Red.
Yes. That's what we like to see.
All right, rolling damage. 16 plus 14, total of 30.
As of now, you got more glory from this battle than Edrich did for the other one. You're muted, Bob.
Hey, thanks, Bruja. I appreciate it. Okay, so let me just check his size. The Ilchester Knight's size is 15. You did a total of 30, which is double. Down he goes.
Mm-hmm.
He's off his horse. Lands with a thud. That counts as a victory. Okay.
All right, then.
You see... Sorry, go ahead, Thomas. Yep.
He did pick Reckless, so that was 3 rounds, but with the enemy defeated in the second round, does that change anything?
Kind of, yes. It's like, it's up to 3 rounds of exchange. So, like,
Gotcha.
you can't retreat from it if you're getting your ass kicked, is kind of the idea. Like,
I understand. I understand.
yeah.
Worth a shot.
Yep. But we are gonna give me a recognize roll, Florence, and a heraldry roll.
All right. With the bonus or without the bonus?
Yeah, it's the same round.
All right. Heraldry plus 5. Both or just one?
Both.
All right.
Yeah,
Both
okay,
a success.
perfect. You recognize your opponent, you get your eye on him, and that's when the heraldry kind of clicks in of who is this. It's kind of the first time you've seen him. Hold on one sec. How did he go? Go to the map?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this
I
is the night you
recognize him.
challenged in Tintagel, your very first time visiting.
He was also the knight I rescued. I saved his life.
Yes.
Aw.
How many
I'm about to
years
end
ago
him.
was that? How many years
no.
ago was that in character?
Really?
Gotta be like 10.
Really, he
Uh,
owes you this.
493 or nope, 487 or 88.
Yes, about 8 years.
And
Yeah.
it is.
7 to 10 years ago, yeah. Okay, we're gonna do one final exchange here with Florence and Urban. So both of you, please choose your method. Our Tuds
Not
group
gonna lie. Oh yeah, sorry, you go.
Our Tuds group will be forming under Sir Kinnerid, and they'll be back in the fold. So,
Kinder. It's not looking amazing for Count Urban. Not going to lie. However, God, we've got to try, don't we? What does fighting cautiously do?
fighting prudently or fighting cowardly?
Prudently.
Okay. So you fight the encounter as normal for only 1 combat round. You check prudent and immediately reduce your convoy's morale by -1d3.
If I lose a battle, even if it's 1 round, I'm unconscious. So, winning prudently wouldn't really matter all that much, and losing prudently would be the same as losing if I fight valorously, plus the extra morale hit. So, gotta fight valorously, I think, again.
Okay.
We just have to win.
All right. Let's before we do that, let's see who your guys and I guess we should do this first.
Check the intensity.
Yeah. Intensity is normal, so you'd have to roll a battle roll to. You'd have to crit to hit fight Robert, which you don't.
Mm.
You can choose a different opponent if it goes bad, though.
Oh, you know I might. This guy seems okay. His strength is 9.
Oh, that was Mark's opponent. This is your opponent.
This guy seems bad. I'd like to choose a different one.
Okay.
This guy's also not great, but a little bit better.
A little bit better. Okay.
He's very fast, though.
Oh yes, very dexterous.
Mark, do you want to stay with your opponent?
I want to attempt to go for Sir Olwen.
Okay. I will give you, because your morale has just gone up past 20, so I'm going to give you a +5 to do that.
Alright. I need a crit, correct?
Yeah, because it succeeded, you need a crit.
Okay.
Oh. You get to one of
wait,
his rear guard, and the rear guardsman gets out
Wait.
there.
Do I still have my
+2?
upgrade?
Oh yeah, it's start of the year. You absolutely could.
Before you do, did you count the +2?
I had a plus
+2.
5 for the morale.
Didn't he say plus? Oh
No,
I
he
must
said
be
plus.
misremembering.
Plus 5 for the morale, which makes my battle a 20. Otherwise, it would have been a failure.
Got you. That's my mistake.
No problem. I would like to spend my upgrade to make this a cinematic moment.
Okay. You find yourself. So even though you end up against the rear guard, Sir Owain kind of pushes the rear guard aside and rides up against you. If I'm gonna die today, I'd rather die facing you, Florence.
I wouldn't have it any other way. It's good to see you again, Owain. Sadly, this may be the last.
He just nods his head to you.
For whichever of us that still stands, let the other be welcome to the gates of heaven. Have at you.
Right? Do you have any passions left, good sir?
I have one.
Okay.
Hospitality.
Loyalty Sword of Victory.
Ooh.
All right. Let's see it.
I also have hospitality, if I may be allowed. No. For the Sword of
Yes.
Victory.
He's going to test his as well. He's got one remaining. Loyalty, Gorlo.
No.
Oh,
shit!
Oh no.
This is a cinematic moment.
It really is.
With a critical on a famous passion, it's a +10.
Yep.
Now, fortunately for you, his sword is not terribly good to begin with, so like it's not as good as
This
some
is-
of the guys.
Which
Why
makes
don't
it even.
You went blurry on us. There you go. Something new.
That's gonna happen.
All right, let's see. I wrote dagger is 70, but it should have been 7. So, did that ever come up?
Alright.
He does not, in
This
fact,
guy's
have
the
a
whirling
70.
dervish.
Yeah.
That's 70 in dagger.
All right.
If I had a 70 dagger, I'd always
15
use a dagger.
spear.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't good.
He's got to roll really low here.
Ah.
Let's see if I can take this. Otherwise, this may be it.
You have a lot of hit points, don't you? Still.
21 hit points.
21 remaining.
I don't have that much. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna start with his base damage,
No.
and then we'll go from there. Base damage.
Okay.
That's good.
I take that.
5d6. That is about as good as
Yes.
you can get.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll add his crit damage here.
Okay.
So still
I think I'm fine.
alive.
27 minus 16. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. So I take 11 points.
11 points. Are you still Conscious.
Brings me to 10. I'm still conscious.
Okay.
This time, there's no passions for either of us.
How close are you to unconscious?
I'm 4 points away.
He's gonna tell you to yield. So like, I don't want to kill you, Florence.
I hope you understand that in this fight, neither of us has a chance to yield. One of us will fall, one way or another. I wish there was another way, but there is none. And do not do me the dishonor of trying to avoid your shots. If this is where I die, let it be. But I do not intend to.
Alrighty, good sir. With that, he looks to you. There's a sadness in his eyes, but he hears your words and he thinks he's doing you the justice you've called for. So.
Let God decide.
I don't trust whatever god rolls these dice.
18!
That's pretty good.
I'll add the
If he
only
crits.
the only way he can beat you is if he crits. So
Okay.
Don't say that.
he
Hey.
fails.
Ah!
Like I said, he wasn't very good in sword, but he got that plus friggin' 10 last round. So yeah.
I need to roll really well. 24.
Hey,
24 is
that
good,
goes through. And he doesn't have a shield.
and he doesn't have a shield. And 24,
And depending on his size.
is not very big. But it's gonna be
you
be
do-
double that though. Like 14 times 2.
You do, yeah. You do
Alright.
more damage to him with this regular hit than he did with his crit.
Yeah.
Damn.
But so here's the thing about him. He has one famous combat skill. It's horsemanship. He's
Yeah.
exalted in horsemanship. So there's no way he can drop without a...
Just knock him off his horse without something really bad happening.
Yeah. So he will stay up defiantly. And you're fighting recklessly, right?
Yep.
All right. So that leads us to one final exchange then. As you hit him really good. So 24 minus 10. He just took 14 damage. Let me see what he took prior. It's only fair. You took damage prior. I will say he took 3d4 damage prior. 14 plus 7 is 21. His unconscious.
He'd probably still be up then.
Yeah, he has 3 health before he's unconscious too. So this is like you both. Yeah, you both are like
This is-
bleeding out. And I got a sheet in front of me. Like I'm not just like making this. Like,
Yeah.
anyways.
Alright. I need all the luck in the world.
All right. He looks
believe
at
in
you,
you, buddy.
and now there's a fear in his eyes. But again, the only way is if he crits. He doesn't.
Nope.
You hit him. Yeah.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
I almost rolled a piece by accident. My hand is shaking.
You were my brother, Anakin.
Oh.
That's my bad. I made a typo. Oh,
It's not enough
it's still
to get all
it's
the
still a
way through.
positive exchange. It's still
Yeah.
a good exchange for you. And in fact, this might be better overall.
Well, it's good. It's gonna end in a. So this is where this is what's gonna happen. All of a sudden, Mark, you're fighting him, and the two of you clash, and at first it looks like he just about wipes you out, but you remain and you hold strong. There is something that I should have done, and I'm just getting in my head now. I should have technically had you unhorsed. However, gonna go
Oh,
with
shit,
mistake
that's
made.
right.
Yeah, mistake made, mistake played. So you remained unhorsed. You did blow something to get a critical. We'll give you that. Like, you managed to stay on a horse, and then you fight back, and you just about remove him from his horse with the first strike. And the second one, he raised his shield just in time to defend it. and then both of you kind of begin to reposition on your horses, and then all of a sudden you see him go, and you see a javelin had just been thrown and entered
No.
him. And you see him look in your eyes, and he topples over. And Urban, just as you look over the battlefield with a melancholic eye, you see the auxiliary forces of King Idris moving in and mopping up what's left. Basically, what's left of the situation after you came in here and watched your fellow brethren die and killed your fellow brethren. It's a very disheartening moment for a Cornishman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the cavalry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I think the one thing Florence does is he would get down from his horse and go to Sir Alwyn's side. And would be there in his final moments.
For Count Urban, he sees the cavalry coming and he realizes with his 26th battle precisely what has happened. All of the people who would normally have remembered the old ways, all of the people who would normally be loyal to Gorlo and what came before, have killed each other in a vicious meat grinder of a battle. And now the new Cornwall has come to assert itself.
Owain's dying words to you, Florence, are, "Don't forget what Gorlo taught us." And then his eyes go straight.
Yeah. Just places a hand and says, "I won't." And then does a brief prayer for him.
All right, and then I'm gonna test something here.
Test backstabbing, King Idris.
King Idris just cuts Florence's head off.
What a sad episode. Can we do something fun after this?
Oh,
Let's do another pub crawl.
You think Edric's gonna let things be fun?
No.
Oh.
When they round up the enemies, you find that Sir Robert of Gigant has been killed. Sir Owain has been killed, but Sir Cador was not found on the battlefield, and there are rumors that he and a small group of his cavalrymen retreated, managed to break the flank and get out. All right, and we're gonna take a very minor break so I can get some water, and then we're gonna go back and do some actual Salisbury stuff. But Mark, you went several rounds there. You went 1, 2, 3. You went the full battle.
Yep.
You took down 2 opponents, right?
Mm-hmm.
One sec.
Someday I hope to have a character that will see the start of the battle and the end of the battle, I think.
Never gonna
I think
happen, man.
I think that would be nice someday.
You get 200 glory for that. Florence, all in all.
All right.
Very nice.
Okay. We'll be back very shortly, guys. See you in a couple minutes, and we'll continue. And we're back. Back with another episode. Just kidding. We're back with this episode. I'm really off tonight, I think.
No worries. It
getting
is
back in
the
the groove.
same episode, but yes, no worry. It's been literal months since you've done it, so it's no surprise that
Only this
some
game,
rhythm
though.
needs to be recovered.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna go back to Salisbury and check in. So when we were last here, I guess I should remove that from the list. The Castle of Devises has been liberated by Edrich, Virgil, Rhodri, and the knights who followed them.
Very quickly too.
We'll get some. Oh, I should stop the fighting sounds. There we go. Not currently active fighting. I should get some. Let's do intrigue from everybody, and you can play Rhodri through this, Mark.
May I?
And we'll just let you know who you're rolling as, kind of more so.
No, that's fair. I have your permission, do I, Bob?
Yep. You may play your
success on
character
intrigue.
if you have my blessing to play your character.
We just hear the sound of a sonic boom and Florence's wounded body just like riding upon Shadowfax goes through the wall.
I heard there were single women here. Hello.
That I believe.
I can marry up again. A duchess.
I heard something about hot singles in my area.
Oh, that's great.
Hot singles in another area.
Not even in mine. Yeah.
No.
In another area.
I have hot singles.
Someone else's area. I heard there were hot singles. Hold on.
Is Virgil's insane butt? And I don't know how long it took, but I think you did
my
roll
butt is
insanity.
insane. I don't think I did go. Yeah, that's right. I did roll madness, which developed as fixated center focus madness to try to kill Loof, and then I got knocked out right before I got to him. So
right.
how long has it been since then, Mr. Bob? In game.
About 3 weeks is where I was planning to set forward.
About 3 weeks. So I am 3 hit points up. Is that right? Is that it? No, healing
Nope,
rate is
your
No,
healing
we're
rate.
healing right up.
Yeah. Plus, however many wounds you took, you could get first aided that many times. For an
okay.
extra
I
D3.
took not many. I didn't. I think I only took 1 wound. I think I only took 2 wounds.
So
Minor wound.
test your squire twice.
All right. I thought I did. Hang on. There we go.
Okay.
2 successes.
Roll.
And then that's
2d3.
healing rate again, or TD3. Okay.
Squire tests or first aid tests are always a D3 rather than automatic. Hey,
That
look
is
at
1-3. It's not great.
Okay, 3, and then you get 3 weeks of your healing rate back on top of that.
Okay, so Virgil's back up to 18, which is still under his half. So he's or it's a little bit over his half. So he's up and moving, but he's still in quite a bit of pain. And if it's been 3 weeks, then his madness would have worn off. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Huzzah.
What would the madness represent in this case? Would it be not getting to live, not being the one to finish him off?
I think the madness in the moment was definitely kill Loof at all costs. He abandoned his position and everything for it. So I think considering he didn't do that for the couple of the 9 days or whatever he was in madness, yeah, it would be just like, I mean, he was unconscious for a lot of that, I imagine, but yeah, it would have been basically just rage at it should have been me, you know?
Yeah.
But I think now that time has passed, he's much more comfortable with it.
Give me a d20.
I love rolling d20s, specifically.
Directed trait, hate loose killer.
That's a 9. Directed trait, hate loose corpse. All right, I can cross Loof off of my list. I still hate D. Woodford because they stole some land from me.
Oh, Edrich knows that feeling well.
Okay.
One down, infinity to go.
You, in your time, with the wounding, you ended up staying behind, because you had to for a while. Staying behind in one of the, you ended up being traded in a village nearby the castle. And let me just see something. A
Melangel.
a hermit by the name of Melangel is the one that looked after you. You can let's see.
Hate peoples.
I'm gonna change
So
that passion.
racist.
She's gonna actually No, I think we'll make it hate Saxons. It's appropriate for Salisbury with everything they went through. But she's going to okay, so you no longer need Churdry.
Oh, that's good.
And you're healed another 4 health on top of that.
Oh, thank God. All right, I'm up to 22, which is my total is 34. So I'm still a little sore, but much better off.
Yeah. She's like a hermit, but she's like maybe late 20s, early 30s. You spend like, again, almost a month with her, unexpectedly, and you get the impression, like, I think this is your first exposure really as Virgil to like the old ways. Like she is a straight up like as pagan as they come, like pagans from 100 years ago kind of pagan, or pagan from Summerlin kind of pagan. She everything about her, especially being a hermit, is removed from the I guess the Christian sentiment of society. And
She's a Celt.
You pick up the following checks from spending this time with her. You get where was it? There we go. Churdry as a tick.
Ooh.
She actually explains her process for setting your ribs.
Virgil is such a bitch about it too.
Yeah.
I don't think I have Churdry, so I'm gonna add it to my sheet.
Yep. You can add it and put a tick there. You're gonna tick first aid.
Cool.
And then you're gonna tick religion pagan.
Interesting.
How would Virgil have presented himself there? Would he have been the worst patient in the world?
I think if you ever see one of those classic movies where like a guy is hurt and a nurse has to take care of him, and he's just like for the first like few weeks just like the most bitch, like catty, and also like doing it fucking wrong and all that shit. Yeah. And then I think by like, you know, the second or third week, he's softened a lot. He's still kind of edgy, but like all of the grit to him is kind of gone. And it's not that he's appreciative now, but he's just he's stopped fighting. He stopped kicking, you know?
Yeah. Understood. Yeah, that classic Dances with Wolves, Last Samurai Avatar
Exactly.
vibe. And then
Yeah,
you pick
you
up a
get
little bit. You actually find that the some of the pagan sentiments, there's just something about it that reminds you of, like, I guess your roots, right? Because you two are Kimric. It's not like you're not. And you sense that there's this whole other side of the island that you've just never seen before. All right. With that, we're gonna move forward. It was just a little solo adventure for your madness. So.
Virgil, I think, will not remember her name, but I think years from now, she will continue to appear in his mind. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she'll intrusively, like, he'll remember back that time, and
Understood.
regret not learning what her name was.
I like it.
I have that feeling with my actual wife. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Also, I will say, just for a bit of fun, while Virgil is away, Rhodri does his best to appear as Edric's right hand.
Mm.
Oh, right. I still got you listed as Florence there. Let me fix that. But yeah. Florence name tag to Sir Rhodri. Okay. So continuing on with the loveliness that is Salisbury.
Indeed.
in the time
We
of
made...
Anarchy.
We
Intrigue.
succeeded on our intrigue, yes.
Yeah, and we'll say that Virgil got those successes and then therefore wasn't able to participate in the intrigue for that particular moment because he's busy being maddened, right? Making an appeal. Both Rhodri and Edrich are given sort of a sense that there are some that didn't love the way that Loof was executed on sight, rather than being brought back to Sarum for justice. So it's something where the Edrich is currently facing with a bit of a negative response, let's say, to the Marshal, feeling overstepping of Marshal's bounds to execute the enemy leader who's been taken captive.
He'll keep that in mind, though he was never taken captive, and he did attack him with a hidden blade.
After
But
you,
yes. Oh, yes. After I was going to say that for him to kneel.
and that's important
No,
because he wasn't planning to do that. That was after he found out his fate was met right there. So
Indeed.
yeah.
I think we were justified. Me, the
I
guy
think
with
so
four
too.
with a 4 in justice.
I love how Mark's using obfuscate in real life and just keeps blurring on the screen.
I know, just
Yes.
was I even here to begin with?
Yeah.
He's a V5 plus Umbra.
Oh god. Okay, so not one of my favorite alterations. I love a lot of them. Okay, so you get back to Sarum, and this is like weeks after. I imagine both Rhodri and Edrich, you were able to check in on your families and your homes.
Still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna say that you're called in to speak to the Countess, and funny enough, she's like looking for Virgil, and you guys know that you had to leave Virgil behind, and it's like she's just about gotten to the point where she's like, okay, like looking for an alternate, and then Virgil arrives as well. So it's Rhodri, it's Edrich, it's Virgil, and it's Erwin, who she's speaking to.
Oh, there's not much of us left.
No.
That's all right. This works out for the best, honestly. I mean, less debating to do, more action, you know?
She says, I've been given notice that we'll be receiving delegates in the following month. I would like to align one of you each to one of them. I think it's important that they don't speak to me directly. and then we are left with no sense of promises.
I can see the wisdom in this. More seniority would indicate, well, the belief that any one would be chosen above the other. Who are these delegates, and where from do they hail?
I know not which delegate they'll send, but we should expect one from each of the 4 Saxon factions. Of Logres, not from the north, of course.
I need to test something.
Please don't get thrown out the window.
No promises. I think Virgil kind of like frowns and he goes, "All 4 of them? I hope they aren't intending us to pay even more tribute."
It's my fear that they are. But it might go beyond tribute. The rumors are that the Saxons are beginning to posture within their own ranks. I believe it will be soon that they resolve their own internal leadership, let's just say.
Huh. They must feel awfully confident in their position to be willing to fight amongst each other. That's a bad position for them to be in if one of our counties was strong enough to push back.
They do outnumber us terribly.
But they do not all fight under the same banner. Indeed, many of them have mutually exclusive goals for as to who should rule the Isle of the Britons.
As individuals, they are much easier to manage, are they not?
Exactly. And all of them will be looking for our support. And I think it's important that we avoid a promise.
I believe so too. But if they press the issue, there's no answer that goes well for us or for Britain as a whole. Our neighbors to the east will have an easier time attacking us, and those further east and the Saxons of the Saxon county, they have allied with our largest neighbor, who's, what was it? Was it Silchester? Duke Silchester?
Mm-hmm.
With Duke Silchester. And it is them who have the most weight, if not the most immediate danger. It's not good on either angle, but if we can avoid any promises and provocations, we shall. Is there anything we are able to offer outside of tribute and promises? Something to get them off our backs?
I think it very unlikely. I think they seek our direct support. And unfortunately for us, Ilchester has already started that trend. There's rumors that there are discussions in Huntland and the areas surrounding it are much the same.
With the west slowly being taken over by King Idris, and the east becoming more and more Saxon-friendly, we are pincered on both sides by enemies. And, what to make matters worse, last year's assault on the Isle of... What was the island? It was
Wait.
Gwynwynwen. On the Isle of Wight, and Gwynwynwen's navy being destroyed, means we will be boxed in ever more, with them getting allies from any outside help.
This much is true. And that Roderick used to say that if there wasn't a clear solution, one must find the patience to see it, to wait for it, and the readiness to strike once it's there.
Patience is something that we can possess. On that note, I would like, here and now, amongst friends, and indeed formally later, to apologize for overstepping my bounds as Marshal in the operation against... He wouldn't say operation. In the battle in the Siege of Devices.
Hardly an overstep. He was a traitor, and he stole land from us. Don't you think that that was entirely justified, sir?
My opinion in this doesn't matter.
In the end,
and
he gave us
will,
not much of an option.
Agreed.
But yes, as he says, my opinion in this doesn't matter. He is looking towards the Countess. My loyalty lord is, at this point, famous, baby. I got it up.
She'll say, even so, while I agree with the three of you, a trial shows a certain fairness. I think in Edric's case, you might very well understand that. Or if not, you would be long dead. As a capturer of a prince.
Indeed so. But, moving forward, I will be more circumspect in the treatment of prisoners and capture of ringleaders. His greatest weapon and sharpest blade was his tongue and his political influence. But, nonetheless, there's only so much a rat can do when it's in a box.
Or with its head removed.
Quite so. Incidentally, I am beginning to feel, as indeed I believe all knights are, like said rat within said box. On all sides, the space grows tighter. But Roderick's wisdom holds true. We must wait until any kind of advantage can be seized, and then we must leap on it mercilessly.
With that, she'll be like, she'll nod and she'll go, so back to business. I want to make sure that we have you appropriately aligned to receive one of these delegates and hear them out. With that, Erwin, who's usually really quiet, Erwin speaks up with a clearing of the throat. Countess Ellen, if I may. I fought against King Ace in... He pauses. He says, Battle of... He says, well, it was so long ago. But I think that perhaps I would be best suited to parley with them. If nothing more than perhaps they know my name. She nods. Very well. That solves Kent. What remains then is Salsiax, Essex, and Wessex.
I have had dealings with most of them. Not all of it positive. Indeed, quite the opposite. Though apparently I have some fame of a more lurid sort, he says with a glower on his face, remembering the rumors of how he seduced Oslaf when he was her prisoner. But he will shake his head and say, when it comes to the Saxons of Essex, I have fought alongside some of them. I have seen firsthand some of their peculiar magics. And I believe I understand them politically. But I will be equally happy anywhere.
We'll do the best job that we can, all of us. Salisbury needs to stand strong, but perhaps standing alone is the worst thing we can do right now.
Who do we consider our greatest threat? He says. All things aside, if we were to make one enemy this year that we absolutely would regret out of the four.
Ilchester and Kent. Oh wait, hold on. Which one's united
South
with
Seax.
Silchester?
South Sea.
Silchester and South Seax.
My brother used to tell me a story that he found in one of those books, the one that Gorlo gave him. It said that any choice you had to make where you made multiple enemies and only one ally was the wrong choice. So how the hell do we make the right one?
There's one thing the Saxon respect, is your strength. And when strength doesn't hold, cunning finds itself a good substitute.
Virgil speaks wisdom. We need allies, but in this time of chaos, when Britain fights Britain, we have precious few of those and many enemies of opportunity. Hell, the biggest example of foreign policy I believe we've completed recently has been the Siege of Devices, which would have doubtedly helped some of the people within the civil warring nations up above in Glevum.
I believe then. Real quick, guys, why don't you give me your courtesy scores and your intrigue scores?
Yes, absolutely. Just give it to you or roll them as well?
Just tell me what they are. Yeah.
My courtesy is 6, my intrigue is 18.
Courtesy 6.
Courtesy 11, intrigue 18.
What's Virgil?
Sorry, give me the question one more time.
Courtesy
And intrigue. What are your scores?
Courtesy is quite high. I think 10. Not that high. Not that high. Yeah, shocking, right? And intrigue is also a 10. I'm all right.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. You increased it with your 5 thing the previous winters.
Not courtesy. Courtesy's been 10 actually from the beginning.
So
I'm very surprised.
She assigns the following people to the following delegates. So Sir Rhodri is chosen then to treat with Ilchester and South Seax.
Good choice.
Because he's higher in both, right? Like total kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because of your familiarity with Essex, and you called that out, Thomas, Edrich is put against Essex. So leaves Virgil for Wessex. So that is your delegates that you'll interact with. We'll kind of
now it was Sussex and Wessex that I had that Virgil's established relationships with the princes there by challenging them both to fights, right?
Yeah, Essex and Sussex, I believe.
Essex and Sussex.
Sorry, Essex and Wessex. Yeah, you're right.
Cool,
Essex.
cool. So
Yeah,
that's good. I know that guy. Then.
This guy for sure, right? And then I
yes,
believe
that was the one.
I believe Sled as well, right?
Sled as well. Yeah, I threatened both of them, and they liked me for it.
Yeah.
So, can we just quickly go through them again? I'm a little confused now.
Yeah,
The names
Silchester
to blend
people.
together. Silchester. Who are the Silchester with?
Sussex.
Sussex? Okay.
I'm gonna see.
Wait, am I getting Essex and Wessex mixed up? Who were the people that I fought with your PCs?
Wessex.
Gotcha. It doesn't
And
matter. I've killed people from both sides.
And I'm Sussex, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. So we'll start with Virgil. We haven't had a ton of Virgil time here. You got KO.
Virgil time, baby.
Last time. So we'll say the first to arrive because they're closest and it kind of makes sense is Aethling Kinrick. And you're brought to kind of a one-on-one sort of delegation with him. Where do you want it to be placed? It has to be in Sarum, but it can be anywhere in Sarum.
Ooh. And this is Virgil one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shit, dog. Someplace unorthodox. I would say like the tavern, but I don't think Virgil likes peasants enough to want to go where it smells. So if there's an in the castle kind of like, hey, this is kind of where the knights hang out and drink. That's not like the feast hall. I think that's the spot.
Yeah, I'm sure there'd be some kind of like place closer to the like where the barracks are, maybe.
Yeah, where the lower nobles go and hang out and drink when it's not feast time, but the peasants don't go there. Yeah.
It's like a drinking hall, we'll say. It's not quite a tavern. It's not meant to keep people. It's just meant to serve them drink and maybe a little bit of food, but the primary is drink, not secondary.
Yeah. I think not only is Virgil going to do that, but I think he's going to pick that spot. He's also going to make sure that the only knights that are there are ones that don't like Saxons, but also have the self-restraint not to start shit. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna kind of curate the people that are there.
Okay, we'll say that Bar's there then. He's one of them.
Hell yeah, Bar.
And then there's probably other, Knights of Silchester, or sorry, Knights of Sarum that are directly Sarum Knights. Like they don't have houses like you guys do. They don't have manors.
When Kinrick comes in, does he come in with an entourage or is it just him?
When Kinrick comes in, he does have a small delegation himself. A couple of I forget what they're called now. They're the cavalrymen, the half Kinrick cavalry that
Yeah. Those fuckers.
Gwesi, right?
Gwesi sounds right. Yeah. When Kinrick and his guys come in, I think Virgil kind of spins around from the bar and he goes, "Aethling Kinrick, it's so good to see you. I'm glad you could make it. Welcome to the shit."
He looks around at the surroundings, notices the amount of glaring, and there's a little bit of whispering in Saxon between them. His men kind of fan out around him, and he makes his way to you and sits down. He's hoping to speak with the Countess today.
Well, the Countess thought that you might enjoy talking to me more. As far as everyone is concerned, I'm her delegate. I hope you'll understand the arrangement.
He looks at you a little funny, but nods.
How was your journey? I know traveling through Salisbury must not be particularly comfortable for a bunch of Saxons.
Uneventful, but it's good to get to know the land that we will one day rule.
One day, maybe. Not my lifetime, though. Not yours, certainly.
Yeah, there's kind of like there's a cold kind of air of silence at that. Doesn't rouse any response in him.
Let me ask you something. And feel free to be honest with me here. What's the one thing in the world that you want more than anything else? You can't tell me that it's Salisbury County.
He hesitates. I'm gonna check his honesty.
His stats. Ooh.
Okay. Have the passion my father does. The seat of the High King of Britain.
What a curious answer. Did you know that when I was born as a set of quadruplets? There were 4 of us. I was the first one out, but by all accounts, we're the same age. One of them, my sister, died young. The next oldest, Bryant, he became a clergyman. And by our rules here, those of the faith, those of the true faith, they don't get to play knight like me. And the last was also a woman, my sister. In many ways, it's by chance that I'm in the seat that I am now. If my older brother Perin hadn't passed, if my father and uncles hadn't gone, I understand what it feels like to look at a seat and feel you have to fill it even though it doesn't look like yours. Right?
You have a point, I presume.
Not really. I'm only here to gauge you, to see what you have to offer, and to present it to my lady. But I don't feel I could do that. And he slowly slides his drink that he's been drinking out of over to Kenrick. He goes, I don't think I can do that unless I get to know who you are. So, let's talk about who you are, Atheling Kenrick. Cynic? Kenrick,
you got it.
Kenrick, I had it right the first time.
You know so much about me already.
You know, not many would assume that about me. I've never been particularly observant. Most people assume me a fool, and in some ways, I am. But I've also found that underestimation can be valuable. I want to know what it is that you want, Kenrick. Not what your kingdom wants, what you want. You give me that, and I'll give you something in return. Sound fair?
It's so easy for a knight to separate the two. What do I want? What does my kingdom want? It's different when you're an atheling or a prince. You have to make those decisions hand in hand. You become what your role is. You become a leader, and that defines you. My father decided to come here. We were outcasts and exiles, but we were treated well. We had land, we had wealth, we could have lived very comfortably as the lineage of war heroes, of old kings. But my father, he saw it best to return to Britain, to claim our birthright. And I had a choice, to be his heir or to remain in the place I called home. That choice defined me. I am that choice.
And yet, you betray your conflict in admitting it. Let me tell you a different story. About a knight in Salisbury who had to give up everything they believed in to protect their family. They didn't get to choose who they served or where or who they killed or why. They threw everything on the line because if they refused, they might find happiness, but their family would suffer for it. The scales might not be the same, Kenrick, but the story is. I have a theory. I think despite how different our cultures are, and how much our people hate each other, and the fact that you're invading here while we're defending it, I don't think there's that much of a difference between you and I. Just the values, just the philosophy. What a joke.
You're right. We are different than the others. We are both Saxon and Cymric. We're the only lineage currently that can claim that.
And yet, the others will try for the throne all the same. And Salisbury will be stuck right in the center of it. We're already paying such high tribute. Every year it seems it looks like they're going to demand more. I wonder, what happens when we do make an alliance? What do the other ones see, other than a place to paint their color on the map?
You've likely heard. The kings will be sorting out their rank and file soon. Just like the Cymric, Saxons will talk first. But if talking should fail, imagine you can guess what will follow.
So we've talked. What do you want, then, Atheling?
The other kings of the Saxons, they all came here for different reasons, but they all came here to settle their own lands, with no claim beyond what they could keep in their own borders. My father traveled here differently. There is no returning home for him. He came to become High King.
Then he'll likely die.
In his time, everyone dies. But I
Some
believe he
sooner
will
than
be
a-
first High King since Aurelius.
Wow. You know, it's funny. I seem to remember a few others in the last few years that would have made that same claim. You know where they are now?
Uther was a fool.
I have no horse in that race, my friend. But I'll tell you this. The people of Britain didn't even accept a Briton as High King. If your father thinks that just because he has connections here, he'll be able to make it, no. I don't see it happening. I think the world's only going to be conquered through blood, one way or the other. Now, I like blood, personally. I don't like destruction, though. The things that come in wake of war are not things that I enjoy. I like to fight. I like to kill, but I don't like to see death. If you see an option through this, where Salisbury doesn't have to see death, then I'm certain that Lady, who the fuck's our lady? It's been so long. Elaine, that Lady Elaine will be willing to hear your plea. But if you're suggesting anything that will bring Salisbury to war, then a lot of people are going to die and see death, yours and mine. Is that what you want, Kenrick? You can define yourself by your role all you like, but someday, be it when your father passes or sooner, you're going to have to stand out. I wonder how you'll do so.
He'll just say in turn, "Is that your Countess's answer then? A refusal?"
No. It's my warning. I don't carry as much weight around here as some of the others. I have the Countess's ear. But I know things, Kenrick, from experience, as I suspect you do as well. You weren't destined for a comfortable chair. You're destined for the battlefield, and you'll find your place there, one way or the other. I, for one, hope that I get to see you as well. But that's not my duty today, nor is it yours. So we'll avoid that, won't we?
There's war coming, Virgil, to end this anarchy. It is unavoidable. There will be blood. There already is.
Then I guess you'll have to decide where you want to stand in that. Knee deep, or with your head submerged.
Right, and then I'm gonna get you to test courtesy and intrigue for me.
Huzzah. I'm gonna test a fucking passion and go mad. I'm gonna test honor 17.
How would you
Please
do that
don't
first?
go
And
mad.
I swear to God, if I fumble this, I'm gonna walk out of this room right now.
I believe in you.
I
I believe
I
in
won't
you.
even blame you. at that
Okay.
point.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. We're good. We're good, man. We're good. All right. Courtesy. Here we go. That's an embarrassing success, but a success nonetheless. Oh my God.
I mean,
you can tick both those if you don't have them ticked already.
Huzzah.
He'll stay and finish that drink, but he doesn't stay too much longer. you're left with the thought that you would, as far as foreign diplomacy with external warlords, that went not terribly at all. You're left with the feeling or sense that he wanted more. He wanted an answer, and probably is to return home with a suggestion that's not. Out of the ones you've interacted with, you've sensed him to be the most sort of like intelligent about your culture and intelligent about the court. Out of the
Yeah, out of all the Saxons he's met, he actually, I think this cemented it as he quite likes Kenrick. Can't wait to kill him.
yeah.
Oh yes.
He's
Right.
looking forward to that so much. It's gonna be so good.
Okay, we will end that there. I think you're also left with a sense, like some of your words though, like he did betray his that he's not his father very much, right?
Yes. The definitely got some really good information that I can pass on there. I'm
Yeah.
very satisfied with how that went. And I think that's kind of what Lane wanted, right? Is to give a non-answer, like hear them out. But yeah,
Just not piss them off so much that they ended up rating you guys as a result of it, which is a 1 and a 5, doesn't
exactly.
hear that? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. We will go in order. We'll go to Rhodri next. You are not meeting with Saxon though, my friend.
I see.
You're meeting with another delegate. Let me just pull it open.
It's the fucking dead guy. Come back from the grave to haunt and annoy us.
You end up finding out your delegate is Ufo, who you don't have
Interesting.
much of a relationship with. Like your brother does a little bit, but
Yeah.
you fought, I think, alongside him. I imagine Rhodri was present during the battle to St. Albans and stuff. So
Yeah. All right. In which case, if it would be possible, I think Rhodri would have this conversation at his home in Idmiston, within his grand hall.
it's doable. Ufo rides up with a delegation of the Duke's personal. And the men end up saying, like, just everything looks about as expected. They stop outside of, and just him and a couple of his bodyguards enter. And then when the bodyguards confirm everything's safe, it's left to Rhodri and Ufo to meet.
All right. In that case, Rhodri invites him into like a private chamber where it's just the two of them, and he has a pitcher of wine and 2 chalices laid out at a table as he sits opposite the other chair. Goes, please, sit.
He nods.
Would you care for some wine made from the local vineyards?
I would love some. Thank you.
In that case, as the host, Rhodri would pour for both of them. Pick up his chalice and goes, so, I take it you're here for more than just a friendly visit.
Indeed. I'm sure you've heard the news about the Saxons making overtures.
I've heard of such rumors, yes.
The Saxon kings will soon settle their right of Brett Walder, I suspect.
Will they now? It smirks a little at that.
That is what I am informed, yes.
I see. I take it then you are here on behalf of your father, or is it you are also on behalf of the Saxons that your father has aligned himself with?
Both in this case, as a formal capacity.
I see.
I was hoping to speak directly with the Countess.
Unfortunately, as of recent days, the Countess has been quite busy with other such internal inquiries. However, I, as someone who is part of her trusted few, am here to meet on her behalf.
Do you know much of my father?
I've heard mostly stories from my brother and from others. I've only heard that he has been a good duke to his people.
Good, yes. He's a wise leader, and his choice of aligning with Sasiax was not done in folly.
I would not think so. Duke obvious many things, but he is far from a fool. No, I imagine he made his judgment with intelligence and tact, thinking towards the future.
He believes that King Ele is most comparable to our Kimric culture. That he can be persuaded away from well, the terrible things that warlords tend to bring.
Is that so?
There is a risk. His son has a reputation, after all. That massacre and slaughter of an entire town.
I dare say that would be a hindrance on reputation.
Indeed.
One thing that should always be considered is the line of succession. It is all in good to have one stand above all as a unifying presence. It's another if that power is only to fall to someone unworthy. I'm sure you're aware of this. Well, I say our history, but we have all lived it, have we not? Power is seized by a great man before it falls to another, who inevitably burns it all to the ground. It seems to almost be a constant of this land, unfortunately.
Right now, the counties are weakened and divided. There is no presence of Logres. There was only failed attempts to muster the remaining armies to organize our delegation so that we might vote for another High King. These are all signs that invasion is unlikely to be thwarted. We've seen what also has happened with the Barrack Saxons. My father's been working through them, and they believe that LA's South Saxons are the ones most likely to see themselves in this place as their homeland rather than as a place to conquer.
But doesn't that raise a complication when the conversation of High King is raised? Surely your father would not allow a Saxon to sit upon the throne of High King of this land, would he?
He believes that to be a long way away. They might decide who's Brett Walda, but High King would involve our very own government to decide.
But if they unite together, they would become the dominating force of the Isle. They could wipe out anyone that would dare stand in their way as a grand force. I would think that would not be in your father's best interest. But perhaps I do not know the field that well.
The old Saxon kings of Kent and South Seax, they don't hold the true force and desire to be High King, not the way Acewine of East Saxon or Cerdic of West Saxon do. Cerdic came here with the sole intent of enforcing his right at Vortigern's blood.
And what if he is named Bretwalder? This wielder of the Saxons.
That's why we must ensure he isn't.
If I might speak my mind for a moment, now there's just the two of us, would it not be in the best interest of the Isle that no Bretwalder is found? That each of them incite their claims separately, leading them all to weaken themselves. It's just a thought. Pay no mind to it if it is not to your liking.
Absolutely. I would love to go back in time and be there at the days of the rebirth of Aurelius. I think that in such a war zone, trying to maintain independence is only likely to paint you as an easy place to be conquered.
Perhaps. Well then, I take it you are here to sway our Countess otherwise. That it would be better to stand alongside. Perhaps I would say in this matter your father, rather than the other aspect of your alliance.
Should you ally with LA in Salisbury, we can make it worth your while. It would bring trust again between Ilchester and Salisbury. Something long forgotten. Our borders. We are both counties of Logres. We haven't forgotten that. I understand you have troubles from the north. We could help to secure your borders. To fight Gentian should they be a problem. What more, should Cornwall continue its expansion, you would have proper backing right at your border, right to the east of you.
And out of curiosity, what of Wessex? It also lines our border. Seems to continue to do so.
My father thinks that Cerdic is the most dangerous of the four.
I've heard similar sentiments among my fellows.
I've heard others that say otherwise. And some say he has the least forces, the least foothold. Things to consider. But I've seen that passion in Uther's eyes, and I hear the stories of Cerdic. They don't sound altogether dissimilar in their motivation for the High King.
Just true enough. Well, let's move to another conversation then. Out of curiosity, perhaps either as a personal or as a political statement, Who would you see as High King? Or perhaps who your father would see as High King?
My father tried to muster. Sorry, guys, I'm out of character. Like, I haven't fucking been playing this game enough or something. My brain is just not firing at all cylinders today. What
Don't
is
worry
the
about it,
man. You're doing great.
The Supreme Collegium. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Supreme Collegiate. You're doing
Yeah.
great, Bob. Really, this is good shit.
Yeah.
He says, my father tried to bring together the Supreme Collegium right after Uther's death. I think he believed he was the best successor at the time, but the Collegium would not unite. They couldn't agree. They couldn't gather, much less agree. And some of them, of course, died in the feast itself. The High King should be a Kimric. Failing that, perhaps we can best influence the most susceptible of the kings. Bring Ale into our blood.
Not a bad plan. But I think you will find that there are many who will not follow a man who was not Kimric. Not as a High King. Not unless one was to convince them to come closer to our ways. As I heard, and correct me if I am incorrect, do they not still follow their own pagan faith? Wodanic. Then perhaps my countess might be more willing to deal with someone who shares beliefs. A Christian. Rather than a foreign, to put it in no better way, heretic.
You think short term, Rhodri? Children
Perhaps.
of Ale might very well convert, much the same as the barracks did, or most of them.
Perhaps. But we have a young count. Thus, we tend to think towards the present. Until he is of age to think for the future. But you have made some good points.
And you as well. I enjoyed this conversation very much, but I should be on my way.
As did I. Of course. I shall carry on your sentiments to the Countess.
All right, Rhodri, give me that intrigue and that courtesy roll, please, sir.
I am going to use a passion.
Yeah.
Because it's in Rhodri's best interest to succeed. And he really doesn't want his family to die, so I'm going to do love of family.
I love how applicable it is, especially because the stakes are all so high.
He's also on his home turf.
I'm just stuck here, still kind of back with the thought of how close we were to Florence dying. Like, if not for
Right?
that.
Like, a couple of hit points.
Yeah, and 11 on 5d6 is perhaps the best damage roll outcome you can possibly
yeah.
for, right?
Yeah.
Who was very close to being his end. Literally 4 hit points away. Okay, plus 10 to courtesy, 18, and plus 10 to intrigue.
You really don't throw the kid gloves that much. Okay, perfect. You pick up something
I think if you
go ahead.
throw the kid gloves, you challenge a kid to a duel, don't you?
Throw off the kid gloves.
No, you fight the goat knight, which is like the goblin
Gotcha.
knight.
Yeah.
So, intrigue 20. Okay, so you're gonna pass both those. You get the impression, when you mention the stuff about never following a non-Kimric, you get the impression that there's something more there. That is in fact part of Ulfius's whole strategy, and you think it might even involve UFO and a marriage.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, and I'm only giving you that because you got the 20 on the intrigue that time. So,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Perin's wife is unmarried.
right?
No, she isn't. You were only
Technically,
dead
it
for
would
a
be
little bit.
unlawful.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, it would be unlawful, but under a technicality.
That's the thing. Maybe that's a boon. Maybe someday when we want to, we can annul the marriage.
I annul the marriage. On what ground? I'm still alive!
I object. Does anyone have anything mean to say?
Always.
Thomas, that leaves you in sled, good sir.
Me? I actually have a brief request.
Yep.
Before I do the conversation, could I make the rolls to color how I act? And instead of courtesy, could I use my diplomacy, which is at 10?
I'll allow it. Yep.
I would very much like to activate a passion of Loyalty Lord, and I don't want to get melancholic because it's going to be hilarious. Okay. First roll diplomacy. The lamest success I could possibly get.
Success is a success, man.
Yeah. And second roll intrigue is a critical on a natural 18, which would have been a crit anyway. I think Edric's in top form, I think, and we'll see how the roleplay affects it. In his mind, he's got a map of what he wants to do. He cannot have Ilchester go to war with Salisbury because it's stronger militarily, it's got the best backing, and even if they upset them, Saxons can come through. Wessex, he wants to fight Salisbury. He needs them gone. Who am I with? Essex. Essex is something different, something he could possibly use, something he could use to divide. So he wants to make Salisbury look stronger than it is, so it's not a tempting target, but more allied to different forces than it otherwise could be, so it's less of a tempting, pay us money, obey us. He's going to try something sneaky if he can, but we'll see how it goes as he greets the Essex delegation.
And I'll just make a note of this too. If you're going to be playing off a successful diplomacy, the answer won't be responding to kind in kind.
Absolutely.
You're dealing with the blunt, like the least diplomatic of the three right now, as who Sled is.
Oh,
right?
He knows.
Yeah.
He's happy about that.
Yeah. Okay. Where is this going to be taking place? Where do you want this set?
I've got a question for you. On a high diplomacy, do you think Edrich thinks it would be a good idea to bring his wife along?
Ooh.
Yeah, probably.
Absolutely. Then he will. This is going to happen on a town in the border. Having been there, not the border just at the edge of Salisbury, but closer to Sarum. not far enough away from the city to be a deliberate, we're blocking your entrance, go away. But far enough away that it's certainly you don't need to go further.
Okay.
The delegation is met on the road, outside of town.
All right. You see them ride in from Lev Kamagas and through. Is that where they would go? Maybe not. They'd probably actually go through Gentian to ride in, because they don't want to go through Silchester lands currently.
Hey, we were just there.
Yeah.
In that case, the place they meet is probably, with your permission, either Devices or up Avon.
Yeah. It might be. It's probably up Avon is probably the appropriate place. Yeah.
Yes.
They ride in. They're about 16 strong with sled at the front. He just looks at you, and his response is, you.
Aethling Sled. Good to see you again.
His eyes keep looking over to your wife.
Yeah. She is great. Edrich will say, "Come, I have prepared food and good fare for travelers."
Very well.
And they will be led to a building. Edrich has a contingent of knights along with him, as well as his wife. He is not going to make a special point to ask anyone to disarm.
Okay.
And with hearty fare, though simple and inexpensive, Edrich is going to say, "Sled, the last time you came asking for tribute, and indeed left with something quite similar. How can we help you this year?"
I'm sure you've heard the rumors.
Of the potential talks between your various... what is the word? Forgive me. He looks to his wife. He knows the word.
She
He's just
says.
asking.
She says Bretwalda. And
Bratwalda.
Sled nods. I see you're not as dumb as you look.
I like this guy.
Glad to hear it. Edric's cleverer than he looked.
I want you to test modest for me, good sir.
Oh, that's good. My modest is pretty dang high. I am, in fact, 15 modest. Please don't... I activated a passion, but it was for a different thing, so I'm not going to roll it there. 14 or 15. Whew.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like you feel the blood pressure go, and it like just stops below your neck. Like you managed. I mean, there's no way to take that outside of being a direct slight. There's no way to be like, oh, I misinterpreted that. You're like, no, that's about as
absolutely.
rude as
It's as rude as can be.
Backhanded compliment is possible. Basically.
Yeah. Edrich is not proud. Edrich is very, very modest. What he is vengeful. But above all, he is patient as he goes, "Thank you. I would say the same." And then he's going to change the subject and say, "But indeed, though many rumors have been discussed, I confess we lack authority on what has been said behind closed doors. I do hope everyone's in alignment, but it does seem that many Bratwalders seem to be at odds. Potential Bratwalders, I should say."
It's true. I think Cerdic has delusions. He hasn't been here for all but months, and he thinks himself the High King.
It's arrogance. Arrogance, really, isn't it? After all, you came here for various reasons, each of you, and have different merits as to who might become Bradwalder. But he, long ago, his father slept with a certain woman, and now here he comes. But that's neither here nor there. How will you deal with this conflict of interest or opinion? Do you think he will back down?
I think they'll have no choice. We already have Huntland. Your friends' lands, Heartland, they'll fall soon.
Yes. Incidentally, fine work with the tournament. Does he seem legitimately unsure?
Yeah.
In that case, Edrich will shrug and say, "Forgive me, I misspoke," and then move on forward. And he will say,
have Huntland. We will have Heartland. Tell me then, what will be between us in London?
"Do you believe that Sussex will accept it? After all, their Bradwalder has as much of a claim. And if memory serves, the current or the contingent Bradwalder is an old man, stuck in his ways. Why do you
Sussex's
bother with
power.
diplomacy when..."
Sussex's power is not in London area. They're south. They have to march to us. Our border is close to London. If we hold the greatest port in Britain, who can stop us?
You have fought battles, yes?
Many.
Then perhaps you can explain to me how effective a warrior is when he is looking in one direction, when he is attacked from behind.
There is no one who can attack us from behind. The sea is to our back.
Perhaps reports have not reached you. A military engagement upon the Isle of Wight means that naval superiority in the South Seas belongs to Wessex. And indeed, with other forces too. Cornwall and King Idris have the strongest navy within the seas. And incidentally, I do apologize for being here in place of my countess and the Earl, but she is busy with matters of state.
I imagine your count is playing games, running around, being a gimmick child, unprepared for war.
It seems no different than your generals.
We'll see
While
about
you
that.
raid and you fight the farmlands and the villages, Wessex prepares with an ambition that has been boiling for generations.
We do not fight. Huntland fell to us by words.
Then the reports of you being consistently raided and attacked, castles taken via siege, those are falsified?
Every king must have some rebels.
It does not seem that you can hold the land that you have.
And yet we expand.
You overreach. Sussex sees that. Wessex sees that. We could help you, but we cannot oppose strong forces close to the border. You are right, you are strong. Perhaps the strongest. And you are in a good position, but you are not in the best. And you do have enemies at your backs, though they are not enemies now. Are you confident in... is it his father who's the Bratwalder?
Yeah, and you don't even get past the word
Yes.
confident before he interrupts you and says, yes.
That your father can talk the other two
Yes.
into capitulating?
Yes. They will see his strength. All will. Acewine is king. He is Bretwalda. They will see it.
Why?
Because of all the Saxons on this island, he has the most names, the most ancestors to call on.
So it is his Saxon bloodline that gives him the strength, the legitimacy.
There is no... And I think because you brought your wife in, she'll lean in and
Yeah.
whisper that it's a different mentality.
Oh yeah, full on. Mm.
Right? Like something Edrich wouldn't fully understand. It isn't
Yeah.
about legitimacy like feudalism. It's about it's like heroism almost. Like the Vikings
Got you.
held a warrior line.
I see. The blood gives him strength. Makes him capable of great feats.
And followers. Many see it.
If you are so confident, then why seek more allies? Why not press the advantage? Call it now. Let them see their power.
And then he says, and let you, Kimrick, attack us while we fight ourselves? I think not.
I think you overestimate our cunning. Edrich lies.
He'll say, there is nothing left but cunning when one's fight behind shields and armor like you do. When one is a coward, one must leave cunning. It is all they have.
And you believe us to be cowards because we wear armor? I never knew this. This actually recontextualizes a lot of my fights. But I will say this, Atheling Sled. You are strong. Perhaps your claim is the best. But I do not believe you are correct that the other two will see it that way. After all, the contingent from Sussex has Ilchester advisors whispering in his ear at every word, at every dinner. And the Bratwald from Wessex. That's right.
He's not Bretwald, he says.
He's a king.
Yes, is what I was going to say. He wants to be High King. He's barely a Saxon. What makes you think they will listen to the most names? When they, too, will fight with cunning, with politics.
You mean fight like Kimbrick?
That's why they're here.
They will see it, I am confident. And we will remember the friends that became friends before it all.
Well, I'm very glad to hear it.
You shouldn't be. You are not our friends yet.
I'm glad to hear it because it means that there will be a list of names. Whatever else comes next, it'll be very good to know.
We will return now, if your countess is too busy being a mother.
She is not busy being a mother. She is busy being a countess.
Yes.
And I'm certain in the future days you will see so. I hope you enjoy the food and the travel back. Glevum is nice this time of year. Oh, Gentian is nice this time of year.
Yeah, they kind of ride off. I mean, again, let's
That went badly.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you did what you did, and that's kind of why I wanted the rolls, because it probably would have given you a big penalty to diplomacy on that one because of who you're dealing
Yes,
with
that's
and stuff.
fair. No, definitely.
But we'll contextualize that anyways. It's
Yeah.
just
Ideally, what I tried to do was hint that mentioning Cornwall and the Countess being busy in the same sentence was basically, she's in talks with foreign agents. I
Yep.
realize now that Sled probably would have caught it.
We'll say that you got your points across to him, so you feel
Yes.
confident in your points. Whether or not you appeased any sense of hostility is another question that we'll leave for another time.
Wessex was by far the lowest priority. It's Essex that Edrich wants to kill and Sussex that he wants to appease.
Okay, so with that, guys, I'm wondering if we want to do anything else, because I don't have a ton left for this year. I'm wondering if we want to go right into like a winter feast for $4.99. If we want to pause for the night here, I'm okay with that too.
I'd be
I'm
fine
good for
with
Winter
doing.
Feast.
Yeah, I'd be good for doing winter phase. The one thing is, I think Virgil was gonna get married this year.
Yes, that's right.
Did we have him lined up with anyone? It was a
Yes.
lady from Feast. Is that what happened?
It was a lady from a feast. She's a important lady in Sarum.
We rolled her
Let's
up,
see what-
right?
Yes, we did. No, she was from Hard, but it was like noted that she was kind of important. She was the daughter of an important knight that died.
Yeah, the daughter of Lycus.
It was
Lycus. Lycus the Ficus. Yeah.
Let me just see if I hopefully made a note about that. I'm just checking to see. We'll take so how do we want to approach that? Like, do we want to do? Why don't we do a feast for that? Actually, that would make sense.
I'd be
Yeah.
fine
Do
with
you want to do a feast now, or do you
Ye-
want to do it next time? Because I'm fine with either. If you'd
will
rather
say
have time
we've
to
been.
prepare.
Yeah, I will say we've already been going for about 3 hours, and the feast would probably take longer than a little bit more. So if you want to keep it tight, we can call it here and plan for later. But I am always down for more feasts.
How about this? How does this sound to you guys? What if we do winter phase now, and then at the start of next episode, we'll just do a retroactive, like, just that feast for that year? Is that acceptable? Does that sound groovy to everyone?
We still have winter like Christmas feast too.
Yeah.
Oh, we have
the
a
Christmas
feast to do. Oh, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
pause tonight then. Let's get to it another night.
Okay, so
I think.
are we okay
we'll
with
do a
back-to-back feasts next time then?
Yeah.
Or-
Always,
I'm fine with that.
We
We'll do a
love
feast
that.
crawl. We'll do a feast crawl.
We'll
I'm
do
good with
another
that.
feast crawl. Okay. So we'll do a feast crawl next time. Something to consider, Mark, is maybe we'll decide ahead of time, whether you're bringing Rhodri out to both, whether Florence will be back for either. either Virgil's wedding or for the Christmas feast kind of thing.
Florence isn't showing up to Virgil's wedding.
So. Yeah.
Rhodri will, though.
Hey, get fucked.
Okay. And then whether or not, I guess, Florence will show up separately to the Christmas feast will be another question. So. But all right, guys, good stuff. I thought we were gonna lose Florence today. I think that's like the second time
so
where
close.
Florence has gotten pretty close, like to a dangerous scenario. So.
Oh yeah.
Florence is a combat beast.
Which is funny because he wasn't meant to be.
Well, neither was Edrich. People look at the golden hair and the shiny teeth, and they forget 25 lance. You've survived so many unwinnable battles.
Cool. All right, guys. Why don't we go ahead and do some outros then? We'll just wrap it up there. It's a nice place. We got, in one episode, I think we caught up to the other streams anyways. So it's all good. It's a good point to take a pause. Why don't we start with you, Thomas, for outros?
Hello, my name is Thomas, and I have been Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke. Exactly, that's what I was going for. And Marshal of Salisbury. Good fighter, so-so negotiator, and adequately sneaky. And that's been me. Thank you so much for watching. It's been lovely getting back into the swing of things. It took me a little bit. But yes, over to you.
Mark.
Which one's you? Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. I was just looking at our handy-dandy Discord. By the way, did you know we have a Discord? Come check us out. Lots of fun stuff on there, like shitposting and memes and updates of when we go live, as well as new shows and series and things we can do. You can also join us and become part of the community. We offer some things like Open Pendragon, series where you can come in and play Pendragon with us. And yeah. On that, I have been Mark, aka the Cat's Meow. And stay tuned, for I have a new series I will be doing a spiel on soon enough, hopefully by next week. But until then, I've been me, as Sir Florence, nearly dying.
Again.
One sec, before we go on, I'm just gonna get this out properly. Are you in here, Mark? Yeah, the Cat's Meow, that's what it is. Is it just the Cat's Meow on... Yeah, there we go. Okay, just wanted to give this shout out. While it's happening. Thomas, you don't stream, otherwise I'd shout out you, but I don't think you need to.
No, do not worry. Do not perceive me. I'm invisible everywhere else.
Right. All right, Liam.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liam. I played Sir Virgil of Durnford, and another guy whose name I am forgetting, Artard. What a great episode. I love this show so much, and I missed it dearly. It's such a fun game with such interesting paradigms in every direction at all times. Great stuff. Excellent work today, Mark. Great role-playing and good backdoor deal-making, everybody. I don't have anything to plug this week, but I will say watch the other parts of this show, because there's also Gathering of Branches and Legacy of Nanteleod. Is that it?
Yep.
Or is it
Nanteleod's Legacy? Yep.
Nanteleod's Legacy, both which are also excellent shows. So go check those out if you're looking for something to watch. That's it from me. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. We got 7 viewers here, so I'll probably find a raid, and I'll kind of try to do that right after the intro or the outro. So basically, it was already mentioned. You can check out this game Sundays. You can check out Summerland game, which is a neighbor right beside Salisbury, on Tuesdays, and then Nanteleod's Legacy is Fridays, all running around the same world, telling different parts of a bigger game, I guess. Other than that, you might have seen a BattleTech show on here, Gentlemen of the List. AP Gaming Reel runs out for us once a month, so it will have a slightly slower running capacity than these ones do. And I guess the other thing to shout out is Mark and I do Ageless Masquerade, Vampire the Masquerade game, set currently in 1899, and it's going to be rolling through to Modern Knights as a theory. It moves forward one in-game year every real life month is what we're currently targeting. So about a
It's
decade
also
every
a
year.
weird, it's also a weird, interesting virtual LARP,
Indeed,
which
yeah.
we every once in a while we do videos about updates on how we're doing with it and tech updates and things like that. So stay tuned for those as well.
Very true, very true. All right, guys, let me find someone to raid here, and then we'll get going. Give me a sec. Let's see who we got. Anyone from the normal? Oh, Insomnia Knight's running. Oh, go to him. Yeah. I guess, yeah, I'll mention Insomnia Knight. This is someone I play with on Saturdays. Sorry, not Saturdays. On Thursdays, and he runs us in a Dragonlance game. And I haven't played Dragonlance in a very long time, so it's fun. All right, and we're mounting up here. Hopefully they're not closing down. They might be closing down in like a couple of minutes, but we'll try anyways.
Indeed.
All right, take care.